if you're in those early preparation days, if you're haven't really got around to quitting drinking yet, then one of the tips that I can give you is to make sure you tell somebody about your intentions, right? Tell somebody who's close to you, tell a friend, definitely tell your partner, but tell somebody who can hold you sort of to ransom, so to speak. I'm Kevin O'Hara for alcoholmastery.com. Today I wanted to talk about telling a friend to get a little bit of leverage on yourself, right? It's important to tell the people in your life about your intentions to change, right? From the beginning, from before the beginning if you can, because it gives them a chance to come to terms with things themselves, to deal with the fact that there's going to be a change in your life, and that change is going to necessarily sort of have an outward snowball effect on their lives as well, right? So it's important to tell people. Now, what this video is about is how you tell people, right? And this is going to make a massive difference. So I think this is one of the most important lessons that I've learned since I started Alcohol Mastery, right? So how you tell people about your change is going to affect how they perceive you, right? How they perceive what you're doing, how they perceive you as a person, your actions from now on and your actions from before, right? Now, if you tell people that you're quitting drinking alcohol, then you know what they're going to think, right? You have a good idea, pretty good idea what they're going to think, right? They're going to think, well, why do you need to quit alcohol for a start? Do you need to quit alcohol? Yeah. Have you got a problem with alcohol? You do, or you did, whatever, right? Are you an alcoholic, right? These are all questions that are going to float through that person's mind as soon as they hear alcohol problem, as soon as they hear you're quitting drinking alcohol. Now, why do you need to say that? You know, this is not what you're doing. You know, this is about changing your life, right? This is about changing what you're doing in your life, changing the bad things that you're doing in your life. And alcohol just happens to be one of those bad things, right? So I suggest that you don't tell people that you're quitting drinking alcohol. You know, you don't, because as soon as you focus on that one thing, then that's what they're going to focus on, right? As soon as you say I'm quitting drinking alcohol, they're going to focus on you're quitting drinking alcohol. On the other hand, if you say to people, I'm going to make some changes in my life, you know, my sort of, my life is not, you know, feeling sort of my age now, or, you know, whatever way you frame this to the other people in your life, you've got to do it in such a way that it's about overall change, right? It's overall lifestyle change. You know, you want to get out walking more, you want to exercise more, whatever that form of exercise is to you. You want to change your diet, so you want to stop eating so much junk food, for instance, or whatever, right? So figure out all the changes that you want to make in your life, you know, a lot of the different personal, physical, lifestyle changes. And you put alcohol in there with that thing as well, because we all have different things that we want to change. You know, alcohol is not, it's not the thing, it's just a part of the structure. You know, when you take alcohol out of the equation, you'll realize this, you'll realize that the old structure is still there, that you'll start seeing some of the other habits that you're doing that you don't want to do anymore, right? So you're not kidding anyone, you're not lying, you're putting things into perspective, right? You know, when you've got somebody who drinks, they normally do a lot of other stuff as well, so you've got to approach this from a lifestyle perspective, right? And when you approach it to other people and you say, look, this is what I'm going to do in my life, they're not going to focus on the alcohol anymore, right? There's no need to be ashamed about any of this, you know, because, you know, drinking alcohol is one part of it. I see so many people, right, who are living good lifestyles. They eat right, they exercise right, they try and improve themselves in their mind. I listen to a lot of podcasts, a lot of YouTube videos of people, and they look healthy, right? But they're still drinking alcohol. Now that to me is not hypocritical, but it's sort of defeating the whole purpose. You know what I mean? It's like they have this one big, it's like somebody saying to you, well, yeah, I don't eat saturated fat. I try and exercise 2 or 3 times a week. I do proper weights. I do all this stuff, and I look after my skin. And then in the next breath, they take out a packet of cigarettes and light up a fag. You'd look at them as if they were mad. Now I guarantee you, right? Guarantee you that in 10 years' time, maybe less, maybe more, right? We're going to start to be looking at alcohol in the same light, because it's heading that way. You know, all these bullshit excuses that the alcohol companies are coming out with now to try and convince us, you know, that there's benefits to drinking alcohol. That's all gone. You know, the damage that alcohol is causing in our society, governments cannot hide from that, right? Eventually there's going to have to be something done about that. As I've said before, they've done sort of in Ireland now they're saying that they're going to bring in new packets for the cigarettes where there is no branding either on the boxes, you know, that you can't print the label on anymore. You can't. Every box is going to be the same. It's going to be white, exactly the same type of box, no fancy boxes that are going to encourage people to go, oh yeah, that's a really cool box, you know, new way of opening a packet of cigarettes, which does encourage young people to smoke because it's novelty. So that's the way cigarettes have gone, and that's, you know, only over the last 10, 15, 20 years that, you know, we've really taken a dislike to smoking cigarettes. I mean, if you look 50 years ago, doctors were encouraging people to smoke certain brands of cigarettes. So, you know, that has changed over time because of the damage that it's been causing, because of the overall damage to society, the amount of money that's being put out. People see that 3.5 million people every year. You know, you can't just go through that many people. You can't say, well, you know, that the hospitals are filling up with people who are dying because of, you know, self-caused illnesses, and not do anything about it. Now, what it does take is a politician who's got the courage to stand up and be counted, you know, and to say, well, you know, this is absolutely ridiculous. We can't sort of tolerate big businesses making fortunes out of the deaths of our children. You know, that's what it's going to take. But that's down in the future somewhere. But getting back to what I was talking about telling a friend, telling somebody, you know, telling the people in your life, you know, you can sort of really help yourself by not telling them, sort of by, you know, like putting it into perspective, right, and choosing your own perspective of how you're going to frame this in a conversation with other people, how you're going to tell people, you know. I think myself that I know that it's a part of an overall process of breaking down the whole framework of not just drinking, but the whole framework that is sort of you've built up around your life, and drinking just happens to be one part of that, you know. And as I say, you'll notice that big time once you do stop and you've taken the alcohol out of your life, and you'll see all the areas where it's not the alcohol that has the influence, it's the lifestyle. You know, the lifestyle is the thing that is holding that up, the people that you hang around with, the places that you go. And you'll see it, that it's one habit is supporting another habit. It's like, you know, these keystone habits that you've got one habit that sort of builds onto another. When you bring a good habit into your life, one habit builds onto another and builds onto another. You know, one day you're saying, well, I'm going to start exercising more. And the next day you'll start saying, well, yeah, I'm going to walk to work instead of taking the bus. It's only a couple of kilometers to work, and I'm going to walk to work. I'm going to walk the kids to school, or whatever, you know. Then you start to think, well, yeah, I mean, I'm saving money doing that. Saving money in petrol and in tire wear and all that other stuff. And you start looking at other areas. You know, it's a very simple example, I know, but I'm saying is one good habit leads to another good habit. Now, it's the opposite effect as well. One bad habit leads to another bad habit to another bad habit, right? So, I know I'm getting completely off track here, but you know, you'll understand once you start taking these big habits out of your life that when you replace them with something else, when you replace a bad habit with a good habit, you'll start to build on that. You'll start to get momentum in your life and start to build on that inspiration that you're giving to yourself. You know, and you'll get motivation from it. You'll build on previous commitments, and you'll build on those, and you know, just carry them forward. So, as I say, it's important to tell somebody. If you tell somebody and frame it in the right way, what you're doing is you're getting it out there into the world, you know, and you know, getting it out there into the world for other people to know what you're doing can sort of solidify your motivation, you know. You know, you don't want to let other people down, especially when it's people you don't want to let down, you know. So anyway, that's it for today. Bit of a ranty video, but there you go. Until next time, leave a comment down below. Come over to the website and sign up for the newsletter. I'm Kevin O'Hara for Alcohol Mastery. Stay safe, keep the alcohol out your mouth. Onwards and upwards. Good luck.